It's estimated that 25% of stars have terrestrial planets orbiting in a habitable zone, or Goldilocks zone, whatever you want to call it. In our Milky Way, that would be around 40 to 50 billion exoplanets like Earth. So, in the observable universe, there'd be around, let's just say, too many to count. So, where are all the aliens? Well, most of the life we'd find would be microscopic, like bacteriophages, which is the most common form of life on Earth. Water bears are a good example of how life could exist beyond our planet. They're only 0.1 centimeters in length, but they can go decades without food or water, and they're the first animal known to survive in outer space. Since most of the life we'd find would be microscopic, like bacteria, you can imagine they're not very intelligent and not very fun to communicate with. So, how about something a little more complex? Mr. Praiseworthy here. In this video, we will be diving into some of the major points as to why we are not alone in this universe. The first point would be that the numbers support it. It's estimated that there's 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, and that's just what we can see. We don't know how far the universe stretches, or if it even ends at all. If the universe is infinite, then the question, are we alone, would be a joke. Because if the universe is infinite, not only will there be every form of alien life, but you yourself wouldn't even be unique. Because if everything is infinite, then everything is bound to repeat. So that would mean there's literally planets just like Earth, and there's another you doing the exact same thing down to every atom. That's right, you guessed it. If every Minecraft world is infinite, then technically it's the same world, just different spawn points. You're welcome. But that's if the universe is infinite. So, let's work with what we do know. We know that there's around 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, or at least 200 billion to be on the safe side. And a quarter of those stars in every galaxy contain exoplanets similar to Earth. And that would be... You know what? I'm just gonna say it. 100 quintillion. This is an educated guess, but this is also excluding other masses that could harbor life, like moons and nomad planets. Nomad planets are interesting. These are wandering homeless nobodies that are just free-flying across the cosmos. At first I thought these nomad planets weren't very common, but according to researchers at the Cavilli Institute for Particle Astrophysics and Cosmology and the Joint Institute of Stanford University, for every star there are 2 or more nomad planets. They don't seem like much, but if any of these nomad planets have a thick enough atmosphere or an ice sheet over them, they can trap enough heat that's being emitted from their core for life to live and possibly evolve. With that in mind, we might have alien life right next door to Earth in our very own solar system. This is because there are many planets and moons in our solar system with similar qualities. Callisto, Europa, Titan, Eris, Triton, Pluto, they all contain water, and they're either protected by a thick atmosphere or a thick layer of ice. Most of them have big bodies of water being protected by sheets of ice. Thick sheets of ice, which will protect any of its inhabitants from asteroids, solar flares, and gamma ray bursts. So, this could mean that there are entire underwater worlds waiting to be unearthed. So if life would be so common, then where are all the little green aliens? Well, I hate to break it to you, but they're in my basement filming the next Men in Black. Come on guys, lighten up. I'm obviously joking. Or am I? Even if we were just a happy accident, the probability of there being extraterrestrial life is undeniably high. But there's no convincing evidence known to the public yet. But many still believe, or claim to have convincing enough evidence already. This is the Fermi paradox. There are many solutions to this, but before we go into that, you should know what the Kardashev scale is. Nikolai Kardashev invented this scale as a method of measuring a civilization's level of technological advancement based on the amount of energy they're able to use. The scale originally had 3 designated categories. Type 1 civilizations, which are civilizations that could use all the available resources on their home planet. Type 2 civilizations, which are also called stellar civilizations, can use all the available resources in their solar system. And Type 3 civilizations have control over their entire galaxy. Throughout the years, more types were added to the scale. It eventually leads up to Type Omega civilizations, which controls all barriers versus voids, can control the hyperverse and above, and enter any dimension. To them, we are like the bacteria in your armpit. Now that we got that out of the way, it's time to tell you where all the aliens are at. Each explanation would deserve their own video. Some are more feasible than others, but here they are. Earth is just a fishbowl. In this scenario, alien civilizations know we exist. They simply watch our development from afar to let us evolve without influence, ultimately forging our own path. We haven't found evidence of extraterrestrials because the reality is an elaborate illusion. As in, we are living in a computer simulation created by our alien overlords who make all the rules. It's very possible that other intelligent life forms are actively sending transmissions into space. We simply don't use the same range of frequencies, or perhaps everyone is listening and no one is talking. Space is large, and that's an understatement. It's so large, if we beam the transmission to the closest star, it would take 4 years to reach the system. And let's say intelligent life did pick up one of our signals, it might take years, if not decades, to get a response, maybe more. We haven't found extraterrestrials because there are no extraterrestrials. It takes long to travel in space. Instead of sending manned ships to explore the galaxy, aliens might dispatch self-replicating nanobots like non-human probes to do the work for them. We've been looking on exoplanets for extraterrestrials, but a truly advanced civilization may not need to be anchored to a rocky world. In fact, some astronomers suggest that because of energy demands, aliens might lurk on the edge of the galaxy, maybe in supermassive black holes, or another dimension entirely. It would be silly to presume that all life is similar to Earth's. Perhaps alien beings are so different they would not register to us even if they were under our noses. Or they may be so similar they are indistinguishable from humans and can easily avoid detection. Or perhaps eons ago, some alien race visited Earth. After seeing all the signs of a habitable world, the creatures sowed the seeds of life with their own genetic material before going along their merry way. Alright, now anyone who's seen Ancient Aliens is going to be familiar with this one. There's a lot of old art and texts in ancient religions, when put in modern terms, point to extraterrestrials visiting Earth sometime in the distant past. This idea pretty much replaces all the polytheistic gods with aliens. If you think about it, all the polytheistic gods are said to come from the heavens, descend from the sky, or are descendants of the original gods. Here are some more examples of that art. Now you can see this is highly controversial, but I'm just trying to show you aliens are probable and numbers support it. Not giving you proof or evidence of the existence of aliens. Just felt like giving you more info and some possibilities. I put a lot of blood and sweat into this, so it'll mean a lot if you share this to whoever might be interested. Stay tuned and goodbye.